Jesus fuck. Resident Evil 1. The game that started and has seemingly it all. I want to review this for a long time. This is Resident Evil 1. Don't go away. Resident Evil is a franchise that I hold so dearly to me. And since I made the decision that since I want to play Resident Evil 8 Village, which I haven't yet, I want to play it on the PS5, but where is the PS5? Who can buy it? Nobody can. So hopefully by next year I can buy a PS5. I decided hopefully by that time span, I can play through every single Resident Evil starting from 0 all the way to 7. Boom. Should be good. I played Resident Evil 0. Chronologically next, looks like Resident Evil 1. Let's get into it. Hands in the air. Save room themes never get old. First off, I know from people who have played Resident Evil, who haven't played Resident Evil, that this is considered the best overall classic Resident Evil experience of all time. You want classic Resident Evil? It's generally... Whoops. You want classic Resident Evil? You go to Resident Evil 1. More specifically, the remake for GameCube. The PS1 version of Resident Evil 1, the OG, it's a bit up and down. For me, I did play the remake version of 1. Generally considered the better one. I last played Resident Evil 1 about 4 to 5 years ago, the same time span of when I played Resident Evil 0. My thoughts on it were pretty much the same as I have now. It is classic RE. Especially in this game, there is a lot, and I mean a lot of backtracking. You will go through the same room, same hallway, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times. Do I mind that? No. I don't mind it at all, weirdly. The puzzles are front and center. Yes, a lot of the puzzles do have to do a lot with examining something, but, you know, whatever. I do like puzzles in my game. I enjoy them quite a lot in Resident Evil. I enjoy them actually a lot in Resident Evil. They're pretty much a main staple of the franchise, and I have no problem with that. One thing I did notice while playing through this game is that it's always a good pace. The puzzles aren't too extremely difficult where it's like, oh my god, I gotta Google this right now. I spent so long on this. What am I gonna do? The puzzles and the way the gameplay is set up so that you unlock things at a rate that is satisfying. You know, you'll feel like you're at a dead end, but you have like one door left to check, and boom, that's where the helmet key is. And all of a sudden you have so many more options to explore through the mansion. You have so many more doors. Then through that door you get a battery, or you get this emblem that goes to here, and you get there. You get the battery fluid or whatever, you know, whatever stuff like that. It's good pacing, and I really enjoyed it. I did notice, however, in the first third of the game, it was a little tame. It was a little bit unexciting, dare I say. You walk through, you do the puzzles, you kill zombies. You walk through, you do puzzles, you kill zombies. You walk through. You see where I'm going with this? It's not till the second, third, and the final third of the game where it was like really intense. Because after you pass the first third, you get into the fact that all the dead zombies that you haven't burned turn into Crimson Heads. Those guys are crazy. What's crazier? The hunters. You go through the mansion, you get to the residence. You come back from the residence, holy shit, this thing's been infested with hunters, and they are crazy. What the fuck? That's right on my ass. Ah! That was right on my ass. I know this is not a safe spot, but god damn. Alright, bitch. I think he's lived long enough. He needs a lesson. And I'm his teacher. What kind of weapons are you using to down these Crimson Heads, hunters, and zombies? Well, it's pretty basic. You've got your pistol, which I will say the pistol, although basic, has a sweet sounding reload. You've got a shotgun. Oh, the quick turn. Grenade launcher with fire, acid, and grenade rounds. Headshot. I popped his neck like it's a pen. And a magnum. I am not taking second chances with these kids right now. Those are all the weapons you'll have in Resident Evil 1. Although, Technically, there could be more. I don't know. Maybe I missed one. Maybe there's Molotovs. Maybe there's a flamethrower. There was a broken flamethrower. Is there a way to fix that? I couldn't find any way. So overall, excluding the Magnum in the grenade launcher, you're looking at a pretty basic setup. You do have a weapon in the form of a canteen and a lighter. You can't use it to make a straight up DIY flamethrower and just like spray down a guy or some shit. But what you can do is when you down a zombie and he dies, you can light him on fire. What up? Good. Whoops. That's so cool. I love that.
Oh, satisfying.
Now you might be thinking, oh, what's the point of killing a zombie after you, well, killed him? Well, that's where the Crimson Heads come in. Because in Resident Evil 1, in the remake, zombies, when they die, don't fully die. Unless you destroyed their head with a crazy shot. They drop, they die, they will come back with crazy Wolverine claws and crazy speed. You have to burn them or suffer the consequences of them returning later. You tell me he's not a fucking crazy man? This locked door. I'm pretty sure the one I'm going to right now is locked from the other side, if I remember correctly. This guy's coming back to life right now. What the? Everything that I've described so far will be taking place in the mansion. The mansion is really good. It's got great rooms. The setup is really well. The way it's designed is so intricate and interesting. I will say it is a little tiny bit too intricate. The amount of times I've had to check my map. This is the second time I play this game. I consider myself a pretty smart gamer. I played through Resident Evil 0. I had no problem with Resident Evil 0. Resident Evil 1, I had to check my map so many times to figure out where I was going. It was crazy. But among the mansion areas that you will explore, you can explore pretty much the back entrance, the cemetery. It's a pretty cool area. You also have the residence. I thought the residence is maybe even cooler than the mansion. I might get shit on for that take, but the residence I thought was so damn cool. Holy shit, this man is quick! Had enough of that kid's shit. You have the outside area, which is pretty simple, but the most important part of the outside area is Lisa Trevor's like outside cabin hut and where you get the Magnum. And last but not least, you have the labs, which I found to be a pretty basic area, nothing too interesting there. To transition myself from the gameplay to the presentation side of this review, I have to say, soundtrack wise, I wasn't too overly impressed actually. In Resident Evil 0, I was so impressed with how the game took its soundtrack. I thought that would correlate to Resident Evil 1. Now, it pretty much does. Resident Evil 1 goes for a more horror, atmosphere-based type of thing. This game is way more scarier than Resident Evil 0. But it does sacrifice some soundtracks in the process. Yeah, the save theme is there. Thank God. Oh my God, is it good. Oh, it's so good to hear that sweet, sweet sound. But still, the amount of rooms that I ran through without having a soundtrack was alarmingly a lot. Hunter sounds? Wow. They're like raptors, like from Jurassic Park or some shit. They are genuinely terrifying. Come on, you bitch. That's a KO. Dude, what the fuck? Jesus Christ, that was close. This is crazy. The animations of Crimson Heads. Terrifying. The first experience I remember having with a Crimson Head was, oh, I killed the zombie. Okay. He's dead. I never in my wildest dreams thought you kill a zombie, he comes back to life. Like, what? Not only comes back to life, but comes back to life as something like this. Okay, everybody chill. Lisa Trevor will get more onto later, but I will say, for at least the presentation side of her, spooky as hell. If there's one thing I do have to say about classic Resident Evil, is that it's a perfect formula, at least for me. The survival aspect, the horror aspect, the action aspect, all together blended so well. I love the puzzles. I love the pacing. It's as present in Resident Evil 1 as it was in Resident Evil 0 for me. And honestly, like when I beat Resident Evil 1 here, at the end of the game, I just said to myself, you know, that's it. I kind of want to play again though. Like I finished the game, but what's the downside to me just replaying this again? Story-wise, this is literally the main aspect as to why I think a lot of people overvolt it to a level that is higher than Resident Evil 0. The story is good. I love the characters. Chris Redfield, Jill Valentine, Albert Wesker, Barry. Those are 4 massive hitters, huge hitters in the Resident Evil franchise. Chris Redfield, wow, I could do a documentary series on Chris Redfield. Jill Valentine, noted as my favorite character in Resident Evil history. Barry's in here. Barry isn't that much more in the franchise until Revelations 2 came along. Fans got reintroduced to him. Now they love him. Albert Wesker. Resident Evil 5 is one of my favorite games of all time, let alone a Resident Evil title. He has his fingers so deep into the franchise. It's crazy to think that his story isn't just Resident Evil 5. It's Resident Evil 0. It's Resident Evil 1. It's Resident Evil 4. He's all over the place. Albert Wesker really is a crazy villain.
I'll burn all of them along with this entire laboratory. That will be the end of my connection with Umbrella.
What? What are you planning?
A lot.
I want to show you something.
So that's why with everything that I've described today in this review, from the pros and the cons, looking at the numbers, I'd have to give it a solid 7.8 out of 10. So that's it. Resident Evil 1 is down, and it's just crazy to me that this ball is already rolling. I feel like I just beat Resident Evil 0. I beat Resident Evil 1. What's next? Well, Resident Evil 2, baby. We're playing it on the Nintendo 64 because technically I could play the GameCube or the Dreamcast edition. I would have to emulate that. Why would I do that when I have the physical edition of the Nintendo 64? Pros and cons to each of the console editions, but either way, it's pretty much the same thing. So expect that in the future. But for now, I'm your host, Single Player Entertainment, and I hope you enjoyed this review. Peace. The music's different. Jesus. Dude, fuck me. I hate these things. Back away. Wait, don't I need to go in that door? Oh, this whole hallway's been gone. Dude, destroyed the door itself. God damn. What is up? I know what you're thinking. You're only here for the bonus Easter egg soundtrack I put in at the end of every video. But did you also know I have a donation page under Buy Me a Coffee? Donate whatever you want to my channel and I'll put half of that back to an environmental charity. So that's that. Enjoy the music. Peace out.